I know you have supervised a lot of PhD students and to succeed, and a lot of them became, academics and so on in our field, and teachers and so on. Maybe if you could give us some advice, for students so that they can be motivated, in terms of their study and so on. Any advice
I
that you
think
like to
students
give?
come into PhDs with very different motivations. Some do it because they want to get a job in a uni, others do it because they're not sure what they want to do, others are interested in getting the qualification, some are interested in going further in study. But if they can get through the first year and gain some confidence, when they start collecting their data, it's when they actually look at their data and think, wow, this is what I'm finding. I think it's when they develop that sense of, this is really interesting. I want to find, what do I want to know that I didn't know before? Once they get that motivation, they will keep going. I guess it's hard. In the students we supervise, and I know you do the same, we try and get the students to work together to support each other. Sydney Uni is very good that way, in that way, because you know and I know that doing a PhD can be really lonely. I think having peer support and sharing ideas with others, being able to talk about what you do, is really good for motivation. It's hard keeping your motivation up. Often I advise students not to suspend because it's so easy to lose it. If they switch, say, from full-time to part-time, that's often better because it's hard juggling life, juggling family, juggling work.
And unexpected situations.
Exactly.
And so on.
Yeah. This is not really a direct answer. It's not a simple thing of keeping up motivation. The ones who finish are usually the ones who are most directed, but your motivation changes along the way. I think if you can get, you know that you're going to finish when you start telling a friend about what you're doing and they fall asleep.
Oh, okay.
Because you're so excited yourself.
Right.
But you realize that it's here. You haven't sort of told other people. I tell my students, talk to your dog, talk to your cat, talk to your partners or friends. Just tell them about it, because once you are clear about what you're doing, that's where your motivation comes from.
Okay, one other thing in relation to, say, students, in my experience as well, is they have a lot of ideas, they have a lot of data, and often, it would mean extra time to complete. What would be your advice on having a lot of data to be worked on?
Two things. It's our job as supervisors to say, too much, cut down. That's your scope. And you've got to imagine it as a race, maybe a 1 kilometre race. Once you're over the line, you're finished. You don't have to use your data. Let go of some of it because you can look at it later. You have to realise when your supervisor says, this is enough, this is all you need to get the doctorate, stop, because you're going to kill yourself. There's a limit, and really, getting a PhD is joining the club of researchers. And once you can prove that you've got good methodology, that you can collect the data and do the findings, you do not have to analyze everything that you've collected. It's really just getting over the line to show that you're good enough. Then your career starts. You look at all of that and you develop further. It's just a line in your trajectory. Yeah?
Absolutely, I agree totally.
Yeah.
Still quite a challenge, right? I mean,
Well,
you have done it, we have done it, but for students, often they don't realize that.
I know, it's hard to let go. I did it with my own supervisor. He kept pulling it, saying, put it in. And I kept saying, no, I've got to finish. But I was wrong.
Right.
You've got to let go of it and look at it later. Well, it's a challenge that we have as supervisors. It's really hard to say, stop, because you can see that the researchers, the students, are so wedded and enthralled in what they're doing. And you say, look, get your PhD, then you can go back.
That's right. That's good advice.